This is the easy way to put oil in a transmission, right, Tim?
Because you can dump it easier.
Dumps easier, you don't spill anything. I want you to cover those gears in that synchronizer shaft the next go around. Don't make a mess. I need this dry. I have to put sealant on it. Jesus, Timothy. Alright. So yeah, we're pretty good to go here. I got this casing is clean and ready to receive the what do you call it? The shaft, the cover. I have a cover that goes on that, and the rock shaft housing goes on this, and we should be able to get that done yet today. And then we have the cab to deal with, and then of course the fire up, right? We got to fire it up. Yeah, firing it up is always the fun part. So yeah, Timothy's working on getting that out, and then we'll show you one more dump of the hydraulic oil onto the synchronizers, and we should be good. That's good. Step aside so he can get in here. I want you to put it over the synchronizer. Because this is a shared, this case is the same, it's all shared oil. And it is hydraulic oil. There's no difference in the John Deeres between the hydraulic and the engine, transmission, wet brake. Well, the difference between the engine oil, but the transmission and wet brake oil. So I want that covered, everything coated, everything, even the shifter lever there. And don't spill any oil on the case because I'm going to put the cork on and drop that lid on, okay? Alright. So if you missed it in the other video that we did, I've already pre-soaked my synchronizers. It's a lot like an automatic transmission in a car. If you don't soak those, they don't last. And I think that's possibly what happened with the last bunch. That's what the last set that was in there. The same guy did my 5020 that did this tractor, and the 5020, same thing, the facings are off of it, so I have to split that tractor next. Not a fun job, I gotta tell you. I'm not thrilled about it. I don't like doing it. It's like, well, it's not a bad job. It's just a huge job, and I don't really like doing huge jobs time after time. So I gotta find my cork gasket, and I'm gonna put everything together. Here we go. Polish my shaft. Yeah. Anyway, before I forget to put it in, this is a shaft that runs that pump, the primary pump or the transmission pump. And it goes, as you can see, it's pretty damn long. It goes through here. It goes all the way through the whole entire tractor, all the way to the flywheel. So Timothy was all concerned, which way does that engine run? That engine runs this way. So we turn it this way. We should actually be able to pump oil with this thing. Now why the hell? Oh, there it goes. I was a little worried there for a second. Yeah, just a second. Oh, there it goes. Now, once that shaft goes in, as you can see, that shaft goes all the way in. It gets to this point. Now somewhere someone didn't, you have to pull that shaft out when you split the tractor at the engine too, because if you don't, you know what happens? It breaks. Now, when you go to put it together, it actually squishes the shaft. It won't line up and you got a problem. Now this, my friend, is the bushing that that shaft spins in, because that shaft spins at the same speed as the tractor does, or the engine does, because the engine is the flywheel. So what I'm going to do is I've cleaned it up enough. Before I drop it in, put it in place, I want to put some assembly lube on there, because it's dry. And it only takes a couple of turns. It only takes a couple of turns without a greaser and oil lubricant in there to actually seize fast, and it could spin that bushing and then cause me a bigger ass ache than I just went through. So it's always a good idea to pre-lube everything before you go ahead and put it back together. Now, if you saw before, me and Tim couldn't seem to get this power takeoff shaft to turn. Well, it turns, oh, you little sucker. It turns freely now. We were just screwing around with it, and it's turning the way it's supposed to. So everything is seated in there the way it's supposed to. That's got an O-ring on it, and I've got that clean. So there we go. Right, Tim?
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Snug that up. And I will go ahead and... Yeah, you never want to cover those two holes. That's the thing. You always hold the camera like that. But anyway, there it is. Shaft, that's what it should look like when you are ready to go ahead and put your load control or your rock shaft housing back on, which is what's about to happen in the next couple of minutes, because we're going to open the doors, bring the skid steer in, swing that bad boy right up over the top of it, and that's what we're going to get. So I've got my GoPro here. I'm actually going to put that on the rock shaft housing as we bring it in, maybe get some good shots with that. So for the next part, I've got my plate put back on here, the cover for the shifter housing, the shifters. I have put a new, I didn't put a new one, I had to put a new washer there. For some reason I'm missing a washer. I got this hose clamped in where it's supposed to be, and I did have that, leave that thing there so it can be turned. And all of these are tightened up. I used my impact gun. I've put a new gasket here on the top of the pinion, or the rear end here, the rear housing, the differential housing, and the pump. So really, we have a nice level of oil in there so that we're ready to rock and roll. Tim's coming with the skid steer now. I don't know if you'll be able to see him out there, but you can see a little bit of him. He's coming with the skid steer, and the rock shaft housing is over there next to the cab. And from there, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that right on up in here. So yeah, stay tuned. I'll just capture that when he gets the when he gets the skid steer in here. And we're pretty clean and clear here. He can maneuver around these parts and stuff. And I overinflated this tire, if you haven't noticed. I put the air to it and then forgot about it. And Jesus Christ, I must have had 60 pounds of air in the damn thing. It's a wonder it didn't blow up and kill me. Like, I heard the air compressor kick on. I'm like, God, why is that thing kicking on? And then I realized, oh shit, I got probably, I don't know, like I said, 50, 60 pounds of air in that tire. Where this tire, that's a radial, by the way. I'm going to be putting new tires on this tractor just after I get everything together. So it'll have a nice, new, fresh set of sneakers on it. So anyways, here he comes. I want you to open the door, and we're good to go. Okay. Up and away. Way to go, Pro. Let me do it this way. Hi. Alright, here we go. Now I'm just going to take this thing. As long as he doesn't hurt the cab, we should be in good shape. Now, here goes this. Alright, so that's it. Load control, or rock shaft housing's back on. I'm hoping that everything is good concerning that. I'm just hoping. Anyway, yeah. We'll get back. Okay, so me and Tim have been working diligently here. Correctamundo, Timoteo? Huh?
Yes.
Diligently. Okay. So what we're doing is actually just putting the finishing touches on the rock shaft housing. Everything here is working perfectly. You can feel a little bit of tension right there, which is great because that means that my load control is working. Timothy is now working on what? Hydraulic hoses. What we're doing is we're replacing that one there where he's got his hand on there. There's a rubber pipe that goes, a rubber hose that goes between those two. Now if you buy them from John Deere, they just have a nylon innards to them. The winding inside, or the webbing, is nylon. I don't like those. I like the steel. So we have cut some old hydraulic hose. Now those are steel, right? They're not nylon? Yeah, they're steel. So they're steel wound hydraulic hoses. So don't do that. Not until you get the right cut. So anyways, that's what we were doing, because I don't like the nylon ones. I want something that's going to actually take the pressure. So he's got the upper one done. He needs to finish hooking it up. And I have been doing, what the hell have I been doing? Oh, I just put the top link on. If you're wondering where that shaft goes in, that goes all the way to that runs your primary hydraulic pump, it's actually behind the top link mount, or the third link mount. So that's where it's at. Anyways, let me get some more done and I'll get back to you.